Hello everybody, I'm Maisie Grego here today, and I'm inviting you all to join me in a class trial. Although in this class trial, as the mastermind's rules state, you are required to show up. Now, in this trial, we'll be going over the biggest character in the franchise, Junko Enoshima. We'll go over who she is, her true identity, as well as how she got the remnants of despair to adore her so much. Now, Junko makes most of her appearances in Danganronpa 1, Trigger Happy Havoc, as well as Danganronpa 3, the anime Despair arc. Now, if you're new here and aren't quite sure what Danganronpa is, let me tell you a bit about it. Danganronpa is a game as well as an anime series where 16 students are trapped somewhere, whether it be in a school or an island, and they are forced to kill each other. Now, the murderer has to murder somebody and get away with it to be set free, and if they're caught, they are executed as punishment per request of the mastermind. Now that we know a bit more about Danganronpa, let's get into why we're really here. Junko. She comes off as a normal, everyday high school girl attending Hope's Peak Academy to further her ultimate talent as the ultimate fashionista, but she ends up tricking all of her fellow classmates as well as the staff members at the school into falling for her lies. But before I get too much into that, let's get into this class trial. In our first point, we've got to get to know our fashionista. Junko is a curvy, blue-eyed strawberry blonde who attends Hope's Peak Academy in the 78th class. According to the Danganronpa wiki, she wears her hair up in two pigtails with a black bear and a white bear representing both sides of hope and despair, as that's the main theme throughout the anime. She wears a lot of makeup as well as long fake red nails with a plaid red skirt and a black button down with buttons on it from her old school. Enough about what she looks like. Junko uses lots of facial expressions that a lot of people get confused with dissociative identity disorder, but in all reality, it's just because she gets bored really easily, as she states multiple times in the anime. She changes her expression, her voice, as well as her hand movements to cure that boredom in the easiest way possible. A lot of you may know this as Junko posing if you follow TikTok trends. Enough about that. Let's get into her personality. Junko comes off very airheaded and talkative and easygoing, but that's just her fake personality as the ultimate fashionista. She's actually very apathetic and gets bored to an unhealthy amount. Enough about who she is. Let's get into who she really is. Who is Junko? No one ever expected our fashionista to be anything more but a talented girl attending the school of her dreams. But Junko had other reasons for going to Hope's Peak Academy. The school full of bright eyes and students wanting to fulfill their ultimate talent. Junko wanted the complete opposite of that. She wanted a world full of heartbreak, tears, and despair, which is why she lied about her ultimate talent so that she could get into Hope's Peak Academy without anybody suspecting her as the mastermind behind all of this despair. Her true talent is the ultimate despair because that's all she ever did to people was fill them with despair just by opening her mouth. Junko led the world to something called the tragedy because of this despair, also known as the biggest, most awful, and most tragic event in human history. Most people go with the first name. She gained a lot of people's love as well as hatred because of this despair. A lot of people wanted to spread this despair with her because they were brainwashed by her. She had gotten the ultimate animator's help to make videos that had these brainwashing techniques. A lot of people hated her because she used these brainwashing techniques to have people kill others or kill themselves or just spread more despair in general. She also erased people's memories and put them into killing games for more despair. And while she was overseeing these games, she had created the remnants of despair that were also brainwashed. Let's get into why they really loved her. How did Junko get these 14 specific students to adore her so much? The same 14 that all had ultimate talents and dreams and hopes attending the school Hope's Peak Academy. Some like the ultimate nurse or the ultimate mechanic. Well, Junko used their class representative, Chiaki Nanami, to get them to fall into despair. They all looked up to her and loved Chiaki as well. They watched her die on multiple screens surrounding them that also had the brainwashing techniques on them from the ultimate animator. The remnants wanted others to feel the same pain that they did. They wanted to spread despair, doing it all for Junko, because they wanted to feel the same despair that Junko felt. They wanted despair more than their own lives, and that's what the brainwashing did to them. And that's why they loved Junko so much. Now, to end off this class trial, let's talk about what we talked about. Who she is, her true identity, as well as a bit about how she got the remnants to love her. Now, in the next class trial, we will be going over Izuru Kamakura and how he helped her spread despair. Thanks for joining us.